and welcome to Taiwan Today. I am Natalie So. Taiwan recently lost two of its diplomatic allies, the Dominican Republic and Burkina Faso. It only has 18 diplomatic allies. What should Taiwan do in this diplomatic crisis? Well, today I talk with the director of the Institute of International Affairs and Strategic Studies, Alexander Huang. Dr. Huang, we are losing allies at a very alarming and quick rate. Do you expect to see this continue to happen? Are we going to continue to lose a lot more allies?
Well, some people said it would be a kind of domino effect, that one after the other. Some people argue that the Central Americans diplomatic allies would follow suit very soon. But I wanted to take a different angle and look at this issue. We know that our remaining 18 diplomatic allies are all doing business with China. All have offices in Beijing. Some of those offices have more personnel than the embassies in Taipei. So there is a kind of constant threat and pressure, a shadow over Taiwan. Secondly, we know that even in this year there could be some more losses. I hate to name names or countries, but we knew that there are some red light zone countries that had either told the Chinese government that they intended to do it immediately, or we sense that they are doing some unusual gestures.
Can you name some names for us?
I without doing that, I think let me do it from another way. If we were in Beijing, what do we want? We want to take away Taiwan's diplomatic ally, to make Taiwan irrelevant to the international system, and probably plus number three, to humiliate Taiwan government.
President, yeah.
Yeah. If we are going to that, we are engaging in a political operations. We must have a political objective. The political objective, let me do this. In Europe, Taiwan has one ally remain. That's the Holy See, or Vatican City. In Africa, Taiwan has one left. It's called Swaziland. And in South America, Taiwan has one ally left. That's Paraguay. So taking the only one country left in one continent or subcontinent would make a more political impact on Taiwan people, especially on President Tsai's government. So I think they will look at those three first. Of course, there are other countries in Central America where Taiwan has more allies. Many of them had shown or expressed that the next change of government or the opposition, if the opposition wins the election, then they will change the flag. So Taiwan is, it's very hard to be a foreign service officer for Taiwan, because you are under constant pressure. You are humiliated, you are de-recognized. No matter how hard you work, it's like a train. So if you do not, if you are not a 120% patriot, you would at some point worry about your career and worry about your undertakings, whether that's the job you want. It's a very hard job.
Well, what would happen to Taiwan if, let's say, we lose 5, 10 more allies in the next year or two? What kind of impact? I mean, practically, obviously, psychologically, we're not going to be happy about that. But what about practically?
I think practically, And theoretically, that if our formal diplomatic relationship has been lowered down to an irrelevant number or a single digit, it will probably a psychological crash to our people. It would be, kind of Taiwan would have a harder time to use other names to participate in international organizations or international NGOs, because we need that, nationality as an actor in international system. This is one part. The other part is that, again, if we were in Beijing, do we want to kill Taiwan's entire diplomatic corps, or we will keep some of them? Because just remember when China took away our diplomatic relationship, it took away the diplomatic recognition of the Republic of China. It's not taking away the recognition of Taiwan. So from Beijing's perspective, probably they wanted to keep the ROC at a minimum level. I used to do the analogy that China wanted to keep Quemoy and Mazu in Taiwan's hand to maintain such a linkage with the mainland. So they may not kill all the...
So are you saying that they may be afraid of a backlash? If we don't have hardly any allies recognizing the Republic of China, we may declare independence, declare that we're Taiwan, or do something?
I think that the Chinese probably had their own calculation. One thing that I can think of is that whether they will have to calculate or assess at what point that Taiwan would think that we are no Chinese anyway. And that's not working for their political objective. So the maximum pressure right now. But I think there will be some changes. I don't want to talk about 50 years later, because I'm not sure whether 50 years later China would still be in one-party dictatorship. That's another story. But that's why I inform. When I talk to the new recruit of the young Foreign Service officers, I have always said that hang in there. Time is on your side. You are young, and it's an honor to fight for Taiwan's diplomacy. It's a unique job, none in the world, but only in Taiwan, so we should do it.
It's a challenge, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Well, do you think Taiwan should be giving vast amounts of aid, many people call it dollar diplomacy, to its current allies? For example, we hear that we may be lending $150 million to Haiti. Mm-hmm. So do you think that this is wise, or this is what we should continue to do?
Well, at this particular juncture, with this particular government, as you have suggested, that losing 4 diplomatic relationships in 2 years has been unprecedented since we withdraw from the United Nations. So I think there should be a short period of time, even though I would be, if I would be the Minister of Foreign Affairs, I would spend some money to at least stop the derecognition for the time being, and then try to think about other ways. We cannot just say, okay, we're going to save the money. You are leaving anyway, so we will not, put our...
Waste money.
Yeah, waste money or invest more. I don't think that's the right way to do.
What about China's other moves, such as in businesses? They called for airlines around the world to call Taiwan, Taiwan, China, on their websites. What do you think about these moves? Are they important? Do they matter?
They matters because it will give the international traveler an impression that the destination that they are going is not other name, but
it's part of China.
It's a comma. It's a name, comma, China. So over time, people may forget that they are visiting a fairly independent national state. And that's why what I'm worrying about is that the opposition and kind of disobedience by some of the international business cooperation would be a kind of short-lived. That over time China would have the rights to do it. But put it in the more historical perspective, I'm not terribly worried. People know that we are no China.
Some people know.
And probably if we are China, we are good China, right? So be confident, be very confident in ourselves. I'm a person of more optimism. I don't think that Taiwan could be easily defeated, and we will move on. Yeah.
China is also trying to lure our talents by a bunch of incentives, giving us a major brain drain. Do you think this is going to have a big impact if they are somewhat successful, but how would this impact our nation?
Yeah, I think it's a sharp knife with two edges. On the surface, in the very beginning, there's many rosy pictures saying that if we move, we have to understand these kind of incentives are different from the incentives that are given to the previous administration. The previous administration is that we are coming here to make your economy more
the tourists
flourish.
Are coming.
The strategy today with this government is that if you want the money, you come to me. Okay, you don't stay in Taiwan. You gotta leave Taiwan. And I think Taiwan people or Taiwan talent understand the risk, but they wanted to pursue their dreams. There will be successes. There will be many failures. I think over time, the negative side would service, and China need to look at it as well. Pressure is not on me anyway, or only on me.
So no one's called you to move to China?
I'm
sure you have received a few phone calls.
I'm too old to travel. Yeah. I think I thought about it about almost 30 years ago when I was pursuing my PhD. That whether I would spend 1 or 2 years teaching in Beijing. But today, I think they don't need me, and I think Taiwan needs me more to stay here and help. So I will stick with my homeland.
Well, it's good to have you here.
Well,
and
thank you.
Also on our show. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in to Taiwan Today. I've been speaking with the director of the Institute of International Affairs and Strategic Studies at Danzhong University, Dr. Alexander Huang. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Natalie So. See you next time.